Hey guys, Tony here, and I figured I'd come back and make a quick update, new vinyl editions video. I don't have a ton to show you. As I said in my last video, I've slowed down quite a bit, but I'm expecting some amazing stuff and coming in the mail, and I'm just really looking forward to it. A couple of them I've been waiting like forever for, so once I get those, I'm really looking forward to the update I'll have coming. But this one's pretty good too. I'm really happy with this stuff. So I think only a couple of them I haven't listened to yet, but for the most part I've listened to it all. And first I'll start with one that I have not listened to. I've seen this cover quite a bit recently, and I don't know, for some reason it just kind of struck my curiosity. I mean, I don't know, I just kept seeing it, and maybe it's just the colors. Sorry, just ripping this off. Maybe it's just the colors on the cover or something. I'd never heard of it, and I've been trying to take more risks lately, buying things that, basically on the how the cover appeals to me or something, Sometimes I'm in the store and I'm just like, I don't really even know what to buy, so I'll take a risk. While it's not something I do a lot, it's something I want to try doing a little bit more, but who knows. So I have not listened to this. Maybe you guys have heard of this band. I did check it out a little bit online after I brought it home, but I have not listened to the LP yet. The name of the band is EDM, or Early Day Miners, and I believe they're a band from Indiana, and it's kind of like a mixture of, from what little bit that I've heard, it's like, I want to say it's like kind of like a folk element mixed with like a kind of an indie rock kind of sound. But I think I really only checked out one tune off of this. The promotional sticker says EDM, a couple quotes from different reviews, melds landscape and history in a way that can be compared to William Faulkner or Cormac McCarthy. Their determination and integrity is pure punk rock. And another one is, you've got to pay proper respect to EDM for playing Weirded Out Americana years before it was the go-to soundtrack. So I thought that sounded interesting. So there you go. This is on, I don't know actually, Western Vinyl. So I don't know if that's the label itself or the people that just put out the vinyl, but that's the only thing I've seen, Western Vinyl. So looks cool. I'm looking forward to checking that out. This one I listened to actually when I brought it home, and it's an EP. Not the greatest thing I've heard by them, but that's one listen. There definitely were some tunes that I liked. This is Modest Mouse, and I don't think does it say the actual name of the EP? Oh, Glacial Pace, I believe it's called. Is that, yeah? Or no, I thought it had a different name. Is it The Fruit That Ate Itself? What's the name of this? I'm confused now. I don't know a ton by Modest Mouse. I have The Moon and Antarctica, and that's an awesome record. I actually bought this. I went to the record store and they were playing The Moon and Antarctica, so I figured I'd grab something else by them. I was just reminded of how great that album is. This says, I'm confused. The sticker on here says the fruit that something, and this says, oh, Glacial Pace is probably the label. So I think this is like the fruit that ate itself or something. I look like a retard. The Fruit That Ate Itself. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and it's from 1996. So it's an EP, a reissue. Really nice reissue. They did a beautiful job. Produced by Calvin Johnson, and yeah, pretty cool. This one, I am familiar with a few tracks off of it, but I have not listened to this yet. And I hear it's a fantastic record. So, Album by Public Image Ltd. Of course, Johnny Rotten, Johnny Lydon. This is his band, and came out in the 80s. And I know a lot of people love this album. It's Public Image Ltd. is like a pretty well-loved band, and glad I picked this up. It's on Elektra, used, and in beautiful shape. near mint, so for just a few bucks, so it was a cool find. I have a nice addition here to my Pink Floyd collection. An album that I listened to a lot when I was a kid, well, like 13, 14. A friend of mine had this CD, let me borrow it. I listened to it a lot while I had it. I haven't listened to this again since I brought it home, but I do remember the album, and I know it's a strange record, I'll put it that way. The Final Cut by Pink Floyd, and this is basically Roger Waters' statement about war, World War II specifically, but also just the state of war today, and a big political statement about in Britain, and just what was going on then. I believe there was a lot of anger towards Margaret Thatcher on here, and it's also kind of I don't know, he's kind of angry about the death of his father. He died in World War II, Roger Waters' father. I do remember a couple of the songs really stuck with me, but I don't remember. It might have been the Post-War Dream that was really, like, you know, far out there, that I really liked it. But I gotta spin this again. I know a lot of this is, this, by the way, their last album with Roger Waters, and a lot of the tracks on here were kind of throwaways from The Wall. As we know, on The Wall, there's a lot of themes to do with the war and Roger Waters losing his father, and but they were rejected songs. And I think one of the things that really kind of pissed off David Gilmour was the fact that, first of all, he had very little input, but even he admits he didn't have a lot of stuff written at the time. But he didn't like the fact that they were putting out throwaways from The Wall. Like, I believe his quote was, "If it wasn't good enough then, why is it good enough now?" So I'm trying to get a complete Floyd collection, so it's essential. Not my favorite as far as I remember, but I'm definitely gonna spin it again. And really, how much bad Floyd is there, you know? So this one I'm completely blown away with, and I'm so glad I finally got it. I think I was first introduced to this title through Big Star 1000. He showed this, and I know a few other people have picked it up since then. And I know Mick Soapy got it, and he liked it. It's on Light in the Attic Records, which is a fantastic label, as most of us know. It's Michael Chapman's Fully Qualified Survivor. I'll pull it out here. This is a fantastic record. Folk rock, a bit of psych folk, but I think I generally classify it as folk rock. Mick Ronson plays on here, David Bowie's guitarist. The one he played with during his heyday, basically. He plays on here. So this album is like a mixture of beautiful folk songs, okay, mixed with really killer kind of folk rock with some killer solos played by Mick Ronson on select tunes. It's a fantastic record. Totally blown away by this. And of course, Light in the Attic always does a really good job with their reissues. And I listened to this last night, and I was just like, I'm so glad I bought this. It's that good. So there you go. I'll read you the promo sticker. It's actually really funny on this. Michael Chapman's Fully Qualified Survivor, 1970 psychedelic British folk rock classic featuring Mick Ronson, and includes Chapman's best-known song, Postcard of Scarborough, File Between Roy Harper, John Martin, and Bert Janich, I always say that wrong. The perfect album for a lazy day in a joint. So, very, very good record, I have to say. And really glad I bought this. I've been really getting into UK folk from the 60s. Originally released on Harvest. And Michael Chapman is actually still around. I think he's in his 70s, and he still tours. The liner notes of this were really, really interesting to read. So I gotta thank Big Star 1000 mostly for that. So really cool. This is one I came across, and again, took another risk on. I'd seen albums by this band at the store, but didn't really know what it was. So again, another total risk. I don't know if people have shown this on the vinyl community. I'm not sure. I mean, I see so many titles But yeah, reissued. This is a band from the 60s, early 70s, and really cool. I believe it's pronounced Josephus. And this is their second LP, second album, Dead Man. And this is fantastic. Just out and out rock. Like, think of, I keep thinking when I hear it, the Who live at Leeds, just that live Who sound, mixed with like the MC5 and maybe a touch of Black Sabbath. All excellent stuff. They do a cover of Give Me Shelter, and on one of the tunes they kind of they bust into I Want You by the Beatles, like at the end of the track, and it's phenomenal. Really, really great band from Texas. And I know their first album, what that looks like, but I haven't heard it. But I want to check it out. So, Josephus. Released, I believe, in 1970. Yeah, 1970. Recorded December 1969. And very good. This record should be played loud. And I definitely agree. It's a really, really great record. And, you know, one of those risks I took, and it just really paid off. It's fantastic. You know, in Big Star's last recent finds video, he talked about how there's kind of like a, you know, there's always like, other people have mentioned it too, there's like this kind of ESP among people in the community, how we seem to pick up records at the same time, and unknowingly, you know, like I'll buy a lot of recommendations, but there are also a lot of times where I pick something up, you know, and I pick it up, and then the next day somebody posts a video showing it. And Big Star mentioned how he picked up a copy of Trout Mask Replica, and I had picked it up at the same time. So, you know, neither one of us knew the other one had got it, obviously. So this is actually another example of that with Big Star 1000. He showed this, and I couldn't believe it, because he was just talking about in the same video about what happened with Trout Mask Replica, and he showed this, and I couldn't believe it. This is an unbelievable record. It is fantastic. If you like blues rock, you gotta get this record. It's so good. Alright, it's called, the band is called Speed Glue and Shinki, and the name of the album is called Eve. It is their debut record. This is a band from Japan. When I was checking out the Traveling Flower Band, Satori, however you say it, I was checking them out and like online, and this album cover kept coming up, and the name Joey Smith kept coming up. So I'd seen this cover around a lot. I'd also seen this in the store a lot, and you know, when I initially saw it, I didn't know what it was until I bought the Traveling Flower Band. And then this was on sale the other day, so I picked it up, and I'm so glad I did. Again, it's fantastic. Again, just really like well done blues rock. And I think just about every song here is like about drugs. Mr. Walking Drugstore Man, Big Headed Woman, Ode to the Bad People, Keep It Cool, Someday, oh I missed one, Stoned Out of My Mind, and Someday We'll All Fall Down. Just fantastic guitar licks on here. Every player on here is fantastic. The bass is excellent, the drums, just, it's a great record, and I highly recommend checking it out. Big Star 1000 said this was actually on the top of the list by Julian Cope of Jap Rock. So, very, very good record. I highly recommend it. And again, another reissue by Phoenix Records. They do just a fantastic job. So, there you go. Finally, the last thing here. An album I've wanted to get for a while now, and just one of those things where I kept having a hard time getting it, or it was just too expensive, and things like that. So we all know Amon Düül 2, at least most of us know Amon Düül 2, but there's also Amon Düül, or sometimes called Amon Düül 1. From what I understand, and I could be mistaken, there's a lot of false information, and there's a lot of rumors, I guess, about, in the stories of certain krautrock bands, not a lot of information is always known. Amon Düül were one unit. They're basically a commune, I guess. And the more musical members of the commune basically started playing together, and they called themselves Amon Düül. What I had heard, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, is that just before their first performance, there was some kind of fallout between the band, and they basically split. It was a big collective, and they split into two. And the more musically talented members of Amon Düül left and formed Amon Düül 2. And Amon Düül 1, I guess, continued. They put out a few albums, I believe, and they say they're all kind of the same, that they could have been all recorded in the same period, the same recording session, and just released successively. I don't know about that, but this is their debut, Amon Düül, and it's called Psychedelic Underground. This is an import, and this is way different from Amon Düül 2 in that the recording is definitely slightly lo-fi, and there's a lot of they don't have the chops that Amon Düül 2 does, but this is really good in its own right, in that it's very it's more I want to say it's like more attitude. It's almost punk rock in that aspect, where they don't care, they're just playing and they get into a groove, and there's a lot of weirdness and there's a lot of chanting and things like that going on here. But it's excellent. All the titles are in German, so I'm not going to try and pronounce them, but I'm really glad I bought this. So this is Amon Düül, Psychedelic Underground. I keep thinking Psychedelic Breakfast for some reason, but it's Psychedelic Underground. And very, very cool reissue. Really happy I got it. So there you go, guys. Those are my finds, and not too bad this time. It didn't go too crazy. Really looking forward to my next one as well. So please leave some comments, and I hope everybody's well, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.